Joining me now is Congressman Rick Crawford. He is chair of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. He is also a U.S. Army veteran. First, Congressman, I want to get your reaction to President Trump's announcement on social media of this ceasefire. What's your understanding of what it all means? Does this mean we're going to have more negotiations now with Iran to give up its nuclear plans?
I hope so. I hope that's their understanding of it. We certainly would like to follow through on President Trump's vision for Iran to never possess a nuclear weapon. That's been the vision of many presidents for as long as I can remember. And I think we're much closer to realizing that today than we were 72 hours ago. So congratulations on a great effort on the part of the president and his team and our United States military. And then further, capping it off with this ceasefire negotiation, I think also bodes well for the region. But as you suggested in your open, that doesn't necessarily mean that we can just, let down our guard, because there are many proxies of the Iranian regime that may not be bound by that, and certainly aren't bound by that ceasefire agreement.
They may not even be controlled by Iran at this point. We know the Ayatollah is in an underground bunker using couriers to communicate. I can't imagine he's got couriers running over to all parts of Europe or even the United States.
Correct. Well, that's part of the issue here, and why I've raised this many times, is improving our counterintelligence posture here at home. Our CI posture across the federal law enforcement enterprise really needs to redouble their efforts and review, just how effective and how aggressive we are in that space. Because what we don't want to see is another, I don't imagine we would ever see another 9/11, anything on that scale, but the potential for terrorist attacks still exists, because we know under the previous administration there were well over 1,000 Iranians allowed into the country. Those are the ones that we know of. We don't know how many gotaways may have been Iranian or affiliated with Iranian terror cells. So we have to be very, very diligent and hypervigilant.
Tomorrow you get your first briefing on all of this from the CIA director and from the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard. Many of your fellow congressmen are questioning how close Iran was to having a nuclear weapon. What questions do you want answered in this big briefing tomorrow?
I think for myself and probably a lot of folks, I think we're going to want to know how much damage was done, how much did we degrade their ability to pursue a nuclear weapon. Those are the things I think are going to be probably expressed by many members, and they'll be concerned about. And then I think we also want to know, how reliable are the Iranians with regard to this ceasefire. We want to make sure that they're going to follow through, and quite frankly, want to make sure that this cessation of hostilities is enduring. And I hope that it is.
Yeah, to your first question tomorrow in this big briefing, Democratic House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says, quote, "There is zero evidence that I've seen that the nuclear program was completely obliterated." Is it too soon to really have any solid intelligence as to what happened? We don't have anybody on the ground there yet.
Right, and that you just answered that question. We don't have anybody on the ground there. And this is going to require human eyes. We can't rely on overhead architecture and image intelligence to be able to tell us everything we need to know with regard to, the damage that was inflicted on those three targets. From the overhead images, you would go, okay, yeah, there's seriously been some damage, but we don't know when you're talking about facilities that are 200 meters below the surface,
right?
How much damage was inflicted, despite the effectiveness of those guided bomb units. We still don't know.
Just one last question, Congressman. How concerned are you about a cyber attack from Iran, even with this ceasefire agreement that the president has announced, that Iran and Israel have still yet to confirm? We're waiting any moment to get word of that. Iran has very strong cyber, the ability to do cyber attacks. They're very good at this. How concerned are you about that?
Well, that is one of the areas that I am very concerned with, and we know that they've acted out against things like critical infrastructure, financial institutions, things of that nature that we need to be. When I say hypervigilance, I don't just mean situational awareness where we're out in the public square, we're at an event, we're at a 4th of July celebration or something like that that presents an opportunity for a terrorist, but also recognizing cybersecurity and how important it is to be very, very diligent in maintaining a strong cybersecurity across critical infrastructure, networks, and so on.
Right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.